How's it going, everybody? TySights Shadow Games Report, Part 2 of Assassin's Creed Odyssey today. How's it going? How's it going? Been a good weekend. Well, actually, no, it hasn't. I totally just lied. I totally just lied. Yeah. It was not the greatest of weekends. I tried getting away with lying, and I'm not very good at it. I even call it my own lies whenever I make them. That's one thing that people don't understand about me. They think that, I guess, extreme honesty is an excuse to be, I don't know, dishonest for some reason. But I don't know. I actually have a conscience. I actually want to tell the truth. And if I do lie, even accidentally, I usually do try to correct myself. But anyways, I'm just telling you that because, I don't know, some people try to learn me and try to understand my character. You might even understand or try to understand why I might even lash out about certain things. I don't know. I don't know, man. Just maybe you gotta think about how you set people off or attack people. I know I do. So, I mean, it would be nice if other people thought about similar things. Anyways, enough of my weird little drama, my vague drama. Let's get on into the news. We got a world full of secrets. What do I mean by that? A lot of people are asking for the Epstein files. We even have, I guess, people coming out saying that they would like to reveal their name on the list because they feel that their name would be absolutely on the list. I'm still wondering if, like, you know, if certain people even know about the website that I showed off on this channel one day, Epstein'sBlackBook.com. And yeah, I know it sounds really stupid and generic. I'm sure there's probably people trying to say that it's fake. I don't know. Every time that I matched up the documents with, I guess, what has been released officially, they've always matched up. So, unless, there's other types of manipulation going on here, I don't know. But I kind of feel like the list is already out there in case anybody wants to go look at it. Yeah, I mean, it's really easy to find. It's a quick Google search, Epstein'sBlackBook.com. Like, seriously, it's that easy. Like, I know that it sounds really blank. I even went to the website on my channel the day that I covered it. I think I covered it on the day that the release was supposed to happen, and then we got that bunk folder with a bunch of, you know, redacted pieces of paper. Jeez. Anyways. Alright, let me get into the news before I get annoyed at even what I'm saying. Because, probably bothers me just the same amount, if not more, than other people. Where's this damn button at? Alright, let's get on into it, y'all. Got Clinton trending. Jessica. I don't know who that is. Adam Schiff, Shifty Schiff, as Trump calls him. Bankruptcy trending in the Twitter sphere, the X sphere, X orbit, whatever you would call it. I don't even know now. I got so used to calling it the Twitter sphere. I almost gotta come up with new names now. People keep asking where's Doge at. Do I want to cover Epstein first? I did kind of start off with it, didn't I? The headlines are appearing a little bit differently on X here lately. Grok is not having as much of a part in the headlines, it seems like, which is kind of a good thing, kind of I don't know, it makes me gotta do more work, which is probably a good thing. But I did get kind of used to reading off some of the quick little headlines that Grok made up, even though I would catch it getting it wrong all the time. I don't know. There's still something, I guess, interesting about reading off the perspective of how AI interprets the news. But anyways, but also even how it determines facts. Still trying to figure out how that even worked. Like, I would really like to know how Grok um, came to a lot of the conclusions that it did. Where's the Epstein at? Do I gotta go find the damn? I probably do. I probably do. Let me open up another one. It's not very far away. Do I want to start right here? Yeah, I guess I will. Ian Carroll, direct quotes from Hillary and Podesta's emails. Actually, I don't think this is what I was looking for. Don't tell me it didn't post. Well, I can find it real quick if it wants to bury that post. And I'm just going to go into Ian Carroll's page and find it real quick. Yeah, it's right here. So, I mean, I don't know. It's like I posted this earlier. A lot of my posts don't make it onto my profile. I've come to realize, I mean, I keep bitching about it and nothing has changed in the whole time period that Elon has owned. Actually, I think it actually happened after he started this whole company. I don't know, man. I might even try to look at Reddit, or not Reddit, maybe Reddit actually. I might include Reddit too. Look at Reddit as an option for news and just to kind of compare it with X. I don't know. It's getting really kind of a muddy place on how to find who I think is going to be the most honest and direct with the news. I was happy to see that Aaron Carroll posted this. I've also noticed that Ian Carroll has gotten a lot of backlash over the past few weeks, just for different topics, but it's usually along the lines of Epstein and Israel, and I just don't really understand what people are really disagreeing with, even whenever it comes to the author that he talked about. I don't think he really misrepresented the way that she kind of came and backlashed out at him. I mean, it was good for her to come back and like kind of correct certain things. I don't know. Maybe I'm misinterpreting that too, because I mean, I don't know. I guess if you read it, what she said, I'm trying to think of her name. Something, is it Webster? No, I think it's Webster. I can't think of her name right now. But she did like a deep dive into like Mossad and Israel and just different officials linked to everything, and he did a critique of one of her books in some regards, or like, kind of like using her as a reference, and I don't know, she didn't like, I guess, being used that way. I don't know. I still would like to see her do an interview with Ian, or I guess, I don't know, just something. Just something where she does like a deep video dive. Like even going back onto Jimmy Dore, I saw her one day on Jimmy Dore, and she used to go on there quite a bit. And she had great reports, very intelligent. All right, either way, let me go ahead and jump on into this. Is this it? Did I already click on it? No, it's right here. Ian Carroll says, pause this video, zoom in, and read the words. That's why we won't stop talking about this until these sick, evil people see justice. These same type of things probably happened to kids in private mansions around the country again last night. It's still happening.
It is Wednesday, April 23rd, 2025 at 10:28 p.m. Let's start. Hi, my name is Shelley Carter. I'm the adopted mom of Allison Carter. This is for Attorney General Bondi. I'm asking you to release the Epstein files. I'm publicly asking you to release the Epstein files. You've not instilled any faith with the way you've been handling that situation. You promised us that the information was on your desk, and I know that's a lie because that involves ledgers. A couple weeks later, then you said that there was a truckload of files that had to be gone through, and that was probably closer to the truth. When you understand what ledgers mean and how they keep track and the meticulous and copious amounts of information that they keep for each child that they traffic, for each child that they sell, for each buyer, it's probably more like 20 truckloads of information in that billion-dollar industry that's been happening for decades. I'm asking you to do right by the children. I know you have a lot on your plate, and I know you're in a new position, but you can slow walk any issue, any agenda, any topic. You can slow walk that information. But when we're talking about crimes against humanity and evil torture that's being done to the children, there is no slow walking that. I'm asking you to unredact Allie's information and release it to the public so that they can see the evil that is being done and they can protect their own children.
Pam Bondi, this is my verbal contract with you. My name is Allison Leilani Ray Carter, and I give you full consent to unredact my name in any trafficking ledger that you find, especially to connect it to any of the islands. I volunteer for you to unredact my name and dig into my CPS files for CPS corruption out of Riverside County, California, Child Protective Services. Majority of the names that you'll find in my Child Protective Services file will also probably show up in the trafficking ledgers. Those ledgers are insanely detailed. I know some people don't even understand what a ledger means. It's what people are considering or calling the Epstein Black Book. That Black Book has information of when a child was sold, where, what outfit they had on, what time, where they came from, if they came from Child Protective Services custody, if they were a missing child, if they came from over the border, if the child is sick, how much exactly they were sold for. Everything is in those ledgers. We're doing a very good job protecting predators, and if you guys can please, I'm begging you to do a little bit of better job protecting the children. There's nobody doing that. Nobody's talking about the children. Nobody wants to stay on this topic and stay on this subject. And I'm begging you on behalf of every survivor, dead and alive, to please do something, anything, right now. So I volunteer if you can unredact my name. Well, I have died so many times dealing with the things that I have dealt with. We have had so many issues in the last 5 years that every time that we decide to slap down a receipt, a case number, we gave our child ID number, we will give you whatever you need. I know you already have it, but we will volunteer whatever you need. But at the same time, we have many people that come our way for interviews, podcasts, and so much more. And we've stopped so many people because we're like, is that going to do anything for this war that's happening right now? That all sounds great and dandy, but what does that mean for the war right now? We're tired. We're frustrated, just like everybody else in the world right now. So if you could please do your job. Do something, anything, right now. You have my full permission to release my name. This is the hill that we are ready to die on. We know that when my name is released, even more from those ledgers, the hill that rains down, we already know We're already well aware. Somebody has to be prepared to do something for the children. Somebody has to do something. So, if you don't, we will. And I am not inciting any violence. We do not condone any violence. I just feel like something more has to be done, and this is the time, this is the window. Right now. So please, release it. And if you guys can help us get this video everywhere, and tag Pam Bondi, Melania Trump, Donald J. Trump, Elon Musk, I don't know if this has anything to do with you, but Doge, please, go through it. Investigate. I'll give you the names that need to be investigated. Just please do something. By the way, we are not suicidal. There will be no car accidents. There will be no accidental overdoses. We are not carrying any weapons. We are not carrying anything that cannot be accounted for. There will be no accidental fires. We are of sound mind. We love our life. We would just like to enjoy it.
Peacefully.
So please, anything, something right now would be nice. God bless you. An addendum regarding the ledgers. My birth date is February 15th, 1994, and my former name was Tori Tashina Outlaw, and names that I used to go by that could also possibly be in the ledgers. A big one was Ruby.
What was I saying? Tori Tashina Outlaw. She's younger than me. She's got a child ID, case number. Damn. All right. If anybody wants to go check out that little bit in the video above so you can read it better, I reposted it. He's been popping off just about everything to do with human trafficking lately. Which I guess that's just why I'm like, why do people not, I guess, enjoy his take? I mean, you have to start somewhere. And I don't think anybody sees Ian as a expert. I mean, he did get some things wrong when it came to some of that author that I mentioned earlier, her work. Yeah, I just think that, I don't know, some of the backlash against Ian is a little bit overblown. But if anybody's, wants to tell me what they think is wrong with the whole Ian situation, I'll totally listen to them. But at the same time, if there's not a good argument for something, I usually disregard it. I'm not gonna lie. You can't represent your arguments very well and give me a good reason why this is someone that I shouldn't not trust. I mean, a lot of people think that he could just be another CIA character, which I know, I want to think in that realm too a lot of the time. I want to think about the higher meta game that's being played. If there is some type of battle for the narrative or the illusion over society to some degree, the social constructs, and what is common sense, then I guess you just have to I don't know, it's like, I don't know. I just lost my thought. I just think that the whole situation with Ian Carroll is just overblown, and I think that people need to just reevaluate the whole situation. In which I'm not trying to be, a simp for the guy. I just think that I guess I can kind of relate to Ian in some way. I'm not saying I'm anything like him. I think he's, a lot braver than I am to a lot of, extent. Um, I mean, about as far as I went is just starting a show, but he's going on to like very big shows and like talking about, I mean, he's just a lot more articulate than I am. He deep dives things that I guess I'm kind of nervous of looking into because I don't want to be linked to it in some kind of weird way. Because that's the weird thing about looking into stuff like this. If you yourself go looking for stuff like this, sometimes it can link you to looking into, let's just say, child porn or pedophilia. And, I don't even like saying these words. Like, I feel like the past like 2 or 3 years is like the most I've ever used the word pedophile. And it's only because it won't go away. It's just like constantly in the news now. And I mean, I guess it's a good thing because it does need to be addressed. I guess I never imagined it being addressed this way. And being at such a weird, consequential time, especially with the weird relationship with China, the pandemic happening, and I guess just the possibility of World War III. Because that whole thing has not gone away yet. We still have North Korean troops that are being talked about in Russia, and I think they've already been doing battle against the Ukrainians, which there was some video that was released today, I guess, whenever they first met up to train together. But yeah. Anyways, focusing on this, Joe Rogan and Ian Carroll discuss Pizzagate and Podesta emails. They talk about how the controversy was conveniently shut down after a man went to comment ping pong and fired shots inside, following claims that the restaurant was a front for a child trafficking ring run by ... I might have already covered this before, but we're going to cover it again just because I think it's just important to, I guess, satisfying the ego right now of trying to discover as much as we can about Epstein. I'm actually going to pull this up real quick just to show you that I'm not, let's see now. Epstein's Blackbook.com. Yeah, see? Epstein'sBlackBook.com. And here there is Jeffrey Epstein's Little Black Book, 95 pages, 1,971 names. Enter. And yeah. Lots of names to go through if anybody wants to go look at it. Wee woo, wee woo. I think I just saw Jeffrey Sachs. Alright. But yeah. I don't know. Kind of seems like people are like falling over right now. So I mean, it is kind of one of those weird subjects where you're just like, damn, man, do I really want to die just because I'm talking about this shit? Like, I mean, I don't know. I mean, that's what even makes me kind of wonder about Ian Carroll. It's like he's getting pretty far with his conversations. Like, I wonder if he's thinking about his security, And if he's not thinking about his security, it's like, why is he not thinking about his security?
Do you think stuff like Pizzagate, like when they had that guy come in and fire off that shot, yeah. I felt like that was a great way to put a halt to all the looking into the Podesta emails. What that was. Because then all of a sudden it's a kook thing. Now it's a crazy person and a dangerous person because he's got a gun. You're causing dangerous people to take their guns.
Just like with the vaccines, it's like they always have to make it dangerous, right?
Yeah.
It's dangerous to say that this might have side effects, right?
Because if you read those emails,
exactly right.
Those emails are bananas.
They're not explained.
They're talking about young kids who are going to be coming to a party to have fun. They're talking
They'll
about
be in the
pizza
pool,
and
they
hot
will be
dogs.
there for sure. $65,000 worth of hot dogs flown from Chicago for a White House party.
The whole thing is like very weird.
Did you ever see the archived Instagram posts from James Alefantis' Instagram?
No.
Because that's a dark place. So there's so many layers to Pizzagate that they tried to cover up intentionally for very good reason.
Well, how about the logos?
Well, the thing is, I avoid, in the way I've talked about it, I've avoided all the symbols and logos and even some of the pizza stuff because I think there's so much more ripe, clear evidence that is way more powerful. And James Alefantis' Instagram account is a great example where...
Can you find it online?
So you cannot find it on Instagram anymore. It's only been archived onto other sites, which is kind of sketchy because it's like, how do I know you're not adding photos and stuff? So you kind of have to dig and cross-reference over and over and over to make sure that you're getting sort of like the consensus, because everyone watched as it happened. Right. So people like Liz Crokin, people like Alex Jones, like they saw these things come out. And you can find plenty of different archives of all of James Alefantis' Instagram posts. And there are things like photos of children with their arms taped to tables. And the caption is, looks like a fun time. And then people that have always been commenting on his posts, like the people that are interacting with his posts all the time, have even weirder Instagrams where it's like kill room. And there's a coffin that's open and things like that. There's like a photo of like a walk-in freezer and it's like, man, looks like you've been having a fun weekend. Things like that are just super dark. And a bunch of babies and a bunch of symbolism, a bunch of children. And it's all photos on their Instagram in plain daylight. And it all got scrubbed, obviously.
Jesus
and that's
Christ.
not to mention Podesta's art collection and the Marina Abramovich connections. It goes on and on and on and on and on.
Yeah.
And we're talking about the Clintons with the Haiti scandals, with the cocaine in Arkansas. It's like the thing is that we sound crazy. I sound crazy to someone that doesn't do their own research because you just there's so many layers of like crazy shit that's happened with some of these people.
Yeah.
That if you don't know the history of a person like Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton, it's really easy to think, oh, that's just so insane that you would think that they'd be involved in it. And first of all, they frame it in the articles about Pizzagate. They say Hillary Clinton was the mastermind of a global pedophile sex trafficking ring, all headquartered in this pizza shop, which is not what anyone ever claimed.
Right. So as soon as you can discredit that, you discredit the whole thing.
Classic frame job, which Nancy Pelosi explains very well, where you make a false claim and you say that's what they're saying, and then you discredit the false claim.
Yeah, that just watching that, I'm just kind of like, he kind of seems like he was made to be a journalist in a lot of ways. He's naturally curious. He deep dives into certain issues. He gets all the important information. He doesn't, dig into the clout, some of the stuff that doesn't really matter as much, like what he just said.